was, that's why you're given the time. Oh, he said, what is it? He said, the subject's on sex. Oh, no, not me. I'm not going up there in front of all those people who know me. Just in his name was announced, and up he went. He got up and he stood behind that lectern there, and he just gave 40 minutes performance, just knocked your socks off. And after it was all over, the standing ovation, when he went home, felt pretty good. He said, I should get on the circuit here. A lot of people like that. And he walked in the door, and his wife, Martha, greeted him there with a big hug. He said, well, dear, how convention goes? Said, well, there's matter of fact, it was great. I was the guest speaker. Said, you don't know anything about speaking. I knew that. They didn't know that. Well, on break. Said, well, then what'd you talk about? Said, he's not a dumb guy, right? He said, honey, don't you fall into that color. Or he said, honey, I'm talking about sailing. George, you don't know anything about sailing. Well, I knew that. They didn't know that. And they seemed to like it. Well, off they went to bed. Now, the next day, Martha started doing the shopping. And so were all the girls around the convention. Now, just to show you how two people are talking about who they think they're talking about the same thing, but in reality, they're not. They only think they are, but they have two different ideas. And they all spotted Martha, and they ran over and they said, Martha, we didn't know Charlie was such an authority on the subject. Oh, she said, girls, he isn't really the old fool. He only did it twice. And you know what? The first time, his head fell off, and the second time, he fell over the side. Now, there were two people who thought they were talking about the same thing. Well, the idea that we're working with here today is to take an idea we have, transfer that idea to you as an individual. But there's only one way we can do that. You've got to kind of let go of the resistance. You've got to hang a little bit loose because it is somewhat disturbing. Some of the information disturbs people sometimes. It really does. It actually does. There's a Bishop Sheen who's giving a great talk every Sunday afternoon. And one Sunday afternoon, he's giving a talk about put his hand up. The guy said, hold a minute, Bishop, you don't believe all that jazz, do you? Oh, he said, I believe it all. Said, come on, Bishop, you don't believe that story yet. Jonah was in the stomach of the whale? Oh, he said, I believe it, Bishop. Come on, Bishop, not Jonah in the stomach of the whale. He said, come on, you're a grown man. Oh, he said, I believe it. He said, well, tell me. Bishop, how are you going to prove it? Well, he said, I'll tell you what. When I get to heaven, I'll ask him. Say, yeah, Bishop, what if you don't find him there? He said, then you can ask him. So you see, if you want to reject it, you want to invite it, go ahead. I know the information works. On page 3, at the very top, the suggested use of this program, you know, Rob mentioned earlier that I've actually taken these ideas and I made them work. As a matter of fact, I can remember when I first picked up the information from this program, I believe it was Earl Nightingale's Leave the Field. And I was given a suggested use of how to use that program, which took 5 minutes. Well, I was working with Nightingale at that time, I wasn't. And he sold me a program for $245. That was back in 1968. That was a lot of money. 1968, that's a lot of money today for a lot of people. And he said, now here's what you do. You take this tape, put it in your cassette player. I didn't have one low. And he said, what you do is turn the cassette on because it wasn't a popular thing in cars. But he said, you listen to the first tape all week. Then you go to the second one and listen to that all week. That was the suggested use of the program at that time. So you see, I watched this program grow up. Not only grow up, but I've been able to take it and maximize it more than any individual I know that has ever gone through this seminar. And I can say that, and I can say it with conviction, I can say it with commitment. So let me just walk you through a couple of steps. Born Rich is the beginning of an exciting journey you're about to take. And like all journeys, which are properly planned and completely enjoyed, you must have these 4 basic points. You've got to work these 4 basic points. See, the whole idea that there are simple words that we could implement to really get the results we want. The first one is called order. Order. Order is the very first law of creation. And the second word is movement. And when you have order and movement working in your life, what begins to happen is there's a pattern of growth that begins to develop. You see, I think that we try to get here without first covering or bridging the gap of these steps along the way. So if we have the order, and the order is to make a decision that no matter where I am, no matter how well I am doing, I can do better, and I'm going to set an objective to bring about that order. And then we use the movement, which is known as a system, and I believe that Born Rich is a system. I don't believe it, I know it. You don't have to believe something until you understand it, then you don't have to believe it anymore. But belief is the fuel to get you off the ground. So the first step, a clear understanding of where the journey begins. A very clear understanding of where the journey begins, and I don't know anybody that'll do that more effectively than Robert when he comes back up to start going through the basic concept and creative process. Number two, checkpoints en route to help you stay on course. You see, I believe we know, for the most part, what we want. And as Napoleon Hill said time and time again in his great book, he said, you must know what you want, why you want it, when you want it, and an idea on how you're going to get it. You must know what you want, you must know why you want it, you must know, he said, when you want it, and he said you must have an idea on how you're going to get it. So we need checkpoints en route to help us stay on course. Number three, a clear understanding of your destination. I believe one of the greatest definitions that I've ever heard of success in my life is that success is not a destination, never has been, but it is something called a journey. It has always been what is called a journey. It is not something you get, it is something you're becoming. It never ends. It's infinite in terms of growth. And number four, a commitment. You know, I've spent a lot of time studying, as everyone else, books such as In Search of Excellence, In Pursuit of Excellence. I know when I look at Paul Hutsey, I think a lot about excellence. And you know, excellence is perhaps one of the most important words in your life. But one of the reasons for that is because Paul knew about excellence 20 years ago. His company, they published something called In Search of Excellence and In Pursuit of Excellence. But what does the word mean? I hear people say excellence in this, excellence in that. What does the word mean to you? Well, I'm going to tell you what the word really means. It means a commitment to completion. Folks, you never ever want to forget that. Excellence is simply a commitment to completion. The steps are not easy, but the understanding of the steps are easy. If you remember, it's a commitment to completion. That means completing the things around home. It means completing the things at your work. It means completing the commitments in your personal life. It's a commitment to completion. You will agree a person would be very foolish to tell themselves they are presently in Atlanta, Georgia, and their destination is Dallas. If in fact they were actually in Calgary, Alberta, with Dallas, Texas as their destination. You know how many people that are trying to set a goal, they don't know where they're at, consequently they don't know how to get there. Unbelievable as this may seem, this is the classical error millions of people make philosophically with their lives. They are not completely honest with themselves when it comes to recognizing where they presently are. Where they presently are. Honest answers to every question and serious consideration to every exercise and suggestion will clearly indicate 3 points. And this is what this program is about, is these 3 points. Where your journey begins. That's number one. Number two, the mental adjustments that must be made. The mental adjustments that must be made. Let me give you an example. Anytime I'm working with a young person, I just love working with young people. They only have to understand what a mental adjustment is, and they'll make it quicker than you and I. Are you aware that your kids, they only have to what is called make up their mind? You and I have to change our mind. We can teach them how to make a mental adjustment, and here is the major mental adjustment that all of us have to make. Simple one. You must regard all adversity. You must regard all circumstance, all conditions in your life. If you could look at it as though it were an investment in which you can attract and learn more about growth in your life. It's an investment only. What a difference we find in everything that we do. And number 3, approximate time it will take to complete the journey. The approximate time it will take to complete the journey. Now, before you become immersed in your Born Rich program, form the attitude